Did you see it? Let's see what else can I do. All right, here's another talent. Can you do this? You can do that? Okay, but can you do this? I mean loud. Wow.
How about this one? Can you do this one? Yeah? How about this one? I haven't done that since 4th grade.
All right. All right, here's another one. It's a little gross for some people. Uh-oh. Can you burp on demand?
Oh, no. This is... Hello? This is kind of like stupid pet tricks, right? Who's the pet? I'll be the pet. Bark, bark, bark.
What are you doing?
Stupid pet tricks. Oh, the turkey?
I've never been more proud of you than right now.
It's pretty stupid, isn't it? I know. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to. My kids don't let me say that word because they're not allowed to say that word at our house. Well, I don't think I'll say that.
All right, maybe we should start.
Yeah, do you have the, that's not my sheet, that's somebody else's sheet.
I have nothing. So.
Okay. So I think...
Remember, you're the one that's supposed to know stuff.
I know.
I'm the one that doesn't.
And Mike's ready.
All right.
I think Mike's ready, right?
Are you ready?
Mike, that's a bass guitar. Do you know that's a bass guitar? Oh. Okay. Oh, this is Tom's song. That's why Tom's got the acoustic 6-string. Is this in your way, or is this, you good? You're going to, okay. Let's get out of the way.
Okay. Oh, my God. Too close. The hot mic. Woo! All right. This is a song that I wrote for my wife.
Did your father-in-law approve it? He's up there.
It's a song I wrote for my wife. With a lot of love songs that are out there, actually, you could take that and make it very Christian-like as a love song to God or from God, if you want. But this is a song I wrote for her. I was lost in a sea of doubt. Insecurity waves tossed me all about. I had no motivation, so filled with frustration, and I could not see that I needed direction. I needed correction. Then you rescued me like a shot in the dark. Turn me around like a light in my eye. It got my attention like ice down my back. It stopped me in my tracks, and then I knew you set free. And you started loving me. sea of doubt. Insecurity waves toss me all about. I had no motivation, so filled with frustration, and I could not see that I needed direction, I needed correction. Then you rescued me like a shot in the dark. Turn me around like a light in my heart. Got my attention like ice down my back. You stopped me in my tracks, and then I knew you set me free. Then you started loving me. Turn me around like a light in my eyes. You got my attention like ice down my back. You stopped me in my tracks, and then I knew you set me free. You started loving me.
Did I do that?
Maybe. So we know what's going on now.
We do?
We got paper.
Well, then we just know as much as everybody else.
Looks like another love song coming.
It looks like a series of piano numbers. Looks like there's a theme for the next few.
Part of Your World, The Little Mermaid. And after that, I Just Want to Be King.
I just can't wait to be king.
That was, I wrote a love song too, and that was the exact title of my love song to my wife.
When you started loving me or when you wanted to be king?
I'm not going to say.
Okay.
One of those two.
So we have Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid by Juliana. Oh, she's right here. She's ready to roll. Okay. She's on the keyboard. Here we go. Okay, that was one of Miss Marie's students, and we have another now of Miss Marie's students, although there's a lion coming up on this stage. Oh, he's incognito. Jonathan, you ready?
All right. Arlene is going to tell a story, right, Arlene? Or are you going to play the piano? Or the drums. We have drums back here. You can play those too.
You want to play the drums?
You don't know this. I raised 2 sons beside my other 3.
You had 2 sons?
I did. I did have 3. One passed away some years ago.
Okay.
Okay?
So you're not intimidated by him at all, right?
Are you kidding? I had not the youngest, a family of 12 and 6 brothers and 5 sisters. Okay, here we go. Okay. The name of this is called Black and White. You know, Harleen, I've just been thinking about you. Well, that's nice. How are you, Ethel? Just fine. And yourself? Fine. Well, I'm telling you, I had such a good time the other night, and you're such a good friend. Thanks, and so are you. They had met walking in the mall. Arlene lost her husband in December, and Ethel was walking in the mall, tears streaming down her face, when another mall walker told Arlene that Ethel just had lost her husband. And she thought maybe Arlene could talk to her and see she had just lost her husband too. Now Ethel, she's black. That didn't bother Arlene any. And even though she was white, she just went right over to Ethel and started talking. And soon they were laughing and talking and having a good time. Now this went on for a few weeks, and Arlene would invite Ethel out to dinner that the widowed person service in Grand Rapids were having. Then early one summer evening, Arlene got the urge to go to the dairy ranch and Door. So, okay, they went, and then on over to Arlene's son Roger and family. Well, they were so glad to see them, as they had booked a pots and pan party demo, and their friends had canceled out at the last minute. So there they were, And the next thing you know what? They were enjoying a lovely chicken dinner. Talk about luck. As the summer and fall went, and it was Thanksgiving, and Arlene is invited over to Walt and Elma for dinner. Arlene asked if it's okay if she can bring a friend, and goes on to explain that Ethel is black. Well, that was no problem. So on Thanksgiving Day after church, Arlene picks up Ethel and into the country they go. Everyone is friendly at dinner. When prayers being said, Ethel utters a few amens too. The next day, Ethel calls Arlene and says, I've been on the phone all day calling my friends and telling them all about the good times we had this spring, summer, and fall. I've been looking in the mirror just to see if I is black or white. And Ethel is just laughing. She's so happy. Then she says, you know, I've been thinking about what makes the difference. These Christians, aren't they? Yes, they are. That's what makes the difference. These Christians, and there's no prejudice. I think you're right, Ethel. Ethel says, I love you, Arlene. And Arlene says, I love you too. Never thought I'd say that to a black person. Then I remembered a song we sang many years ago as kids in Sunday school. It goes like this. Jesus loves the little children of the world, red or yellow, black or white. They are precious in His sight.
All right. I'm not going to say anything more to Arlene because I'll get in trouble. Is that how she is with you two? Yeah? Okay. All right. Sneaky business. Special guest Simba. Which one of you is Simba? Oh, you got it on? Okay.
Silly lion. All right. Well done, even after the reboot.
Yeah, you would think she couldn't play with her brother doing that, right? That's very distracting. But that's probably what happens at home when you're practicing all the time, right? So, not a problem. What's next, Jim?
Light of the World, sung by Dana Seif and her cousin Lily.
Oh,
All right. I think this is a Lauren Daigle song. Is that right, Dana? Okay.
The world waits for a miracle. The heart longs for a little bit of hope. Oh, come, Emmanuel. A child prays for peace on earth, that she's calling out from a sea of hurt. Oh, come, Emmanuel. He is Messiah, the Prince of Peace has come. He has come, Emmanuel. Glory to the light of the world. Glory to the light of the Behold your King, behold Messiah, Emmanuel, Glory to the light of the The world waits for a miracle. The heart longs for a little bit of hope. Oh, come, Emmanuel.
All right. Beautiful. Nice job, ladies.
Okay, what's next, Jim?
Well, we had a lion here on stage a little while ago, but we have another large mammal joining us.
I was confused by this title, really. Stupid elephant jokes. Isn't the stupid part redundant?
Silly.
I mean, elephant jokes already would be stupid, right?
Well, I don't know. Let's see.
Right? I mean, really? Okay, well, come on up. Here he is, live.
Thank you.
You want me to get off?
Yeah. I got one. So my name is Mike Seidelman. Thank you. Little story. I first became aware of stupid elephant jokes in the late 90s. I used to work at a juvenile detention center. And I worked with a gentleman in his mid-40s. Thank you. And one of his favorite pastimes was embarrassing his own kids. No similarities there whatsoever. But one of his favorite pastimes was telling these jokes, and he used to tell these stupid dad jokes. And he always used to tell them at the most inappropriate times, high escalation situations where things were really tense between him and these kids, and all of a sudden he would just rattle off one of these stupid elephant jokes, and the silly elephant, it just, all the escalation went out of the room. The kids were like, what? And it was done. So, microphone. So he always, after any one of those situations, he always used to turn around and say, Mike, just stay crazier than the crazies. And I've never looked back. So obviously I took that saying to height. To date, I have amassed about 250 or so stupid elephant jokes and puns. I have them all at home if anybody would like to see them. I'm only going to tell a specific amount tonight. So for those of you that have heard them already, I am so sorry. And for the rest of you, if you've heard them, just don't ruin anything. So before I get started, a warning, these jokes are stupid. They are bad. They're awful. I have no idea where they actually originated. I've been told sometime around the 60s, which from meeting some of the hippies out there makes sense. Some of you have roots, some of these have roots in other jokes. Some of them have been toned down to make them more family friendly. Some of them I even made up on my own. But one thing is for certain, they are stupid. And I warned you, if anybody has not or had heard these before and wants to leave now, go ahead. Yeah, my own family, thank you. They've heard these so many times. So, without warning, my stupid elephant jokes. So, how do you hide an elephant in the forest? You paint his toenails red and you hide him in a cherry tree. So, have you ever seen an elephant hiding in a cherry tree? Then obviously it works. Subject change. How do you fit an elephant in a yellow Volkswagen Beetle? You stick him in the front seat. Look, these are jokes. I told you, they're stupid. Okay, so how do you fit 2 elephants in a yellow Volkswagen Beetle? 2 in the front seat. How do you fit 4 elephants in a yellow Volkswagen Beetle? 2 in the front seat, 2 in the back seat. How do you fit 5 elephants in a yellow Volkswagen Beetle? You can't. It's physically impossible. What did the 5th elephant find in the yellow Volkswagen Beetle? The sunroof. Thank you. How do you know there are 4 elephants in your house? There is an empty yellow Volkswagen Beetle in your driveway. How do you know there are 4 elephants in your backyard? There's an empty yellow Volkswagen Beetle in your driveway, and there's a suspicious-looking cherry tree in your backyard. Speaking of cherry trees, subject change. What was the elephant doing in the highway? About 5 miles per hour. What were 4 elephants doing on the highway? About 70 miles per hour because they were in a yellow Volkswagen Beetle. What did the monkey's SUV get taken to the repair shop for? Monkeys don't drive. Let's just get that out of the way. Monkeys don't drive. Why did Tarzan's SUV get taken to the repair shop? He was hit by the elephant that fell out of the sunroof of the yellow Volkswagen Beetle. Uh, subject change. Look, about the subject change, you're just going to have to keep up. If you have ADD, great. If not, I'm sorry. How do you put an elephant into your refrigerator? You open the door, you stick him in, and then you close the door. Really easy. How do you get a giraffe into your refrigerator? You open the door, you take the elephant out, and you put the giraffe in, close the door. Tarzan is having a party, and all the animals are there but one who is missing the giraffe because he's caught in the refrigerator. If there is a river known to be full of crocodiles and you wanted to go across it, how would you get across? You swim, because all the animals are at Tarzan's party, except for the giraffe who's in the refrigerator. How do you get 8 elephants into the refrigerator? Assuming that all the moons align properly and you actually find the specific quantities needed for this event to happen, you put 4 elephants into one yellow Volkswagen Beetle, you put 4 elephants into another yellow Volkswagen Beetle, you open the door, you take the now frozen giraffe out of the refrigerator, and you stick the 2 yellow Volkswagen Beetles in the door, and you close the door. Thank you. So, how do you get Tarzan in the refrigerator? You open the door, you take the. You see where I'm going with this, right? How many Tarzans can you fit into into a refrigerator? Thank you, because there's only one Tarzan. That's right. How do you know Tarzan's in the refrigerator? Oh, you can hear him. Oh, what did Tarzan say when he was in the refrigerator? Oh, thank you. What did the monkey say when he found Tarzan in the refrigerator? No, monkeys don't talk, people. Come on. Gosh. Subject change. You know what an elephant's favorite game is? Squash. Do you know how an elephant plays squash? Well, first they paint their toenails red, then they climb cherry trees, and then they wait. Why don't elephants go walking into the jungle at 7 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursday evenings? Because that's when the elephants play squash. Animals are not that dumb. Why do beavers have flat tails? Because they're really poor at playing squash. What do you see when you see a herd of elephants wearing pink sweatshirts? What can you conclude? That's right, they are all on the same squash team. Subject change. What did Tarzan say when he saw a herd of elephants in the distance? Look, a herd of elephants in the distance. I mean, what would you say? What did Jane say when she saw a herd of elephants in the distance? Look, a herd of plums in the distance, because Jane's colorblind. What did Tarzan say when he saw a herd of elephants with sunglasses on? Nothing, he didn't recognize them. What did Tarzan say when he saw a herd of giraffes with sunglasses on in the distance? Ha ha, silly elephants, you fooled me once with those disguises. Not this time. Subject change. What's the difference between an elephant and a plum? An elephant is gray. Thank you. Why are our elephants large, gray, and wrinkled? Because if they were small, white, and smooth, they would be aspirin. Duh. Why are elephants wrinkled? Have you ever tried to iron one? Nor have I. What's gray and not there? No elephants. Thank you. How do you get elephants to the top of high cherry trees? Parachutes. One could plant a seed, put the elephant on top, and wait, but that puts a serious damper on the pick-me-up squash game. Why don't you go in the woods on 3 p.m. Tuesday afternoons? That's when the elephants go parachuting on the tops of cherry trees. What do you get when an elephant skydive? People that are afraid to walk in the woods on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because elephants are parachuting. Why don't blind elephants skydive? Because it really scares the heck out of the seeing eye monkeys. Why are monkeys so short? Yep, they were walking in the jungle between 3 p.m. parachute sessions. Look about the monkeys. They can't drive, they can't talk. Really, why would they wear watches? They can't tell time either. What do you call a furry alligator? That was a bear that went in the woods Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. They don't wear watches. Their arms are bare. Thank you. How do you make a dead elephant float? Well, first you take 10 dead elephants, then you take 5 tons of ice cream, and then 5 tons of bananas. I know, it's really bad. I had to throw a morbid one in there just because. Where do you get the elephants to make the float? You would really be surprised at how many elephants lie about their weight when they're doing parachuting. Um, 2 jokes just for the kids. What does an elephant have up his trunk? 6 foot of snot. Why don't elephants pick their noses? Where would you hide a 6-foot booger? And the final joke, what is the loudest noise in the jungle? That would be Tarzan when he found an elephant picking cherries. Thank you.
Subject change. All right. We are having our next team come up. We'll have to get some chairs for these guys, get some things moved. All right, this next duet has an interesting span of years. The span of years between these two performers is 7 decades, and they will be playing a song that's 15 decades old. So When Johnny Comes Marching Home is the number that they've chosen, and they'll be playing, I think, 2 different parts here on their baritones. Larry Moss and Isaiah Heedhuis. Well done. Thank you, men. All right. I'll take care of it. Next, we have Mr. Flavor, Officer Flavor. I mean, Elder Schaefer Fraley. And he's going to tell us a story. Howdy, Pathway. All right, so I told you the stories I wasn't going to tell you today. Here's the one I am going to tell you, the time I actually tased a dude, or the time I actually tased a bro, depending on the audience. Told I had 5 minutes, and go. So for 5 years, I was a police officer from 2008 until 2013. I picked it because it was just the best job out of the 3 jobs available in the little town that we lived in. And the first thing I can tell you is that it's nothing like cops. Being a police officer, you have maybe like 5 minutes of fun, and then you do 4 hours of paperwork. So That's the part they don't show you. And it's a lot of time just driving around in a circle, waiting for something to happen. Nothing happens. Go to the office, drink coffee, go back out, drive in a circle. So one night, I had been driving in a circle. I came in, I got my coffee, I was working on my 4 hours of reports, and then I heard over the radio that a sheriff's deputy had come across a vehicle on the highway, doors open, lights on, running, and nobody around. All right, that's interesting. I can't help him, but I'll hang out and see what happens. 40 minutes go by, here on the radio, sheriff's deputy is on his way to the department with somebody drunk and under arrest. All right, let's see what happens. He gets into the office, and I hear some hooting and hollering. That's pretty typical, police department, somebody going to jail. But I start walking down to see what happened and see how I could assist. Well, as soon as I walk into the booking room, of course, Mr. Shane Martin, our drunk man under arrest, calms down. I mean, I'm a pretty physically imposing presence. So he knew it was time to really button it up or he was going to be in trouble. But what I saw when I walked into that booking room was Shane Martin, covered head to toe in mud, with only a pair of blue jeans on. So we get Shane down to his cell, and we go to the jailer's office. All the cameras up there, we can see what Shane's doing. And the sheriff's deputy tells me that he came across this vehicle, saw nobody was there, but off in the distance, amidst the rain, he heard somebody laughing. He looked out in the field, walked up, and found Shane Martin, only in jeans, rolling around in the mud, in the rain in this field. All right. Found out he was drunk, he was driving, brought him to the office. Cool. Like, all right, that's good. Well, while he's telling me this story, yeah, if you're taking pictures, now's the time to do it. While he's telling me this story, we look up in the mirror, in the video cameras, and we see Shane Martin holding on to the iron bars, saying, "I want my mommy!" All right. So we go talk to Shane. What's going on? My mom's going to tell you that I'm not drunk and you need to send me home. We couldn't get his mom at 3 o'clock in the morning, and we didn't try. But he was convinced. So we go back in the office, and we're talking this through again and chuckling to ourselves. But then we see that Shane Martin now has taken his jeans off and wrapped them around his neck and was looking like he was going to hang himself. It wasn't possible, but a police officer's primary job is to make sure that everyone's safe. That includes everyone out there, everybody wearing a badge, and everyone in jail. So we walked back and said, "Shane, we saw what you were doing. We need to take your pants. We got to make sure that you're safe." "No." "Shane, we're going to get your pants. Do you want to help us or not?" "No." All the while, he's starting to put on his wet, muddy jeans again. "Shane, we're coming in." "No." We open up the door. The sheriff's deputy that arrested him grabbed him by the arms, threw him down on his bed, nice comfy mattress there, and held him. The jailer came up and was holding his head down, which meant that it was my job to take off his pants. So as I'm wrestling around with this muddy, wet jeans guy trying to get his pants off, he's kicking and screaming, and I had foreshadowing of future diaper changes. And but finally, at long last, I was able to get Shane Martin's pants off, and I can tell you, I have never been so excited to have another man's, to be done with that job. Yeah. So I left the cell. The jailer left the cell. The sheriff's deputy that arrested Shane was leaving the cell, but Shane just wouldn't let him go. Shane's reaching out, grabbing the sheriff's deputy. They're now stuck in the doorway. We could shut the door, but we would be breaking Shane's arms, and our jobs as police officers are to make sure that everybody's safe, even people in jail. So we had to let him out into the hallway. So now the sheriff's deputy that arrested him is now wrestling around with Shane, locked arms in arms, down on the floor, back up again, going in circles, and Shane's in his whitey-tighties. And I have this brief moment of clarity. I could go get involved in this little ruckus and have some fun tonight in my fresh, crisp blue uniform, or I could just tase him. So I pull out my taser, give the official taser commands, "Taser, taser!" Pop. Now, tasers, they're basically straightened out fish hooks. It's a needle with a barb that comes back, so once it enters you, it doesn't fall out. 2 of those shoot out, entered Shane's back, creating a circuit, and for 5 seconds, he went on a little joyride. The taser basically just turns you into the Incredible Hulk. It locks up every muscle in your body, and you can't move, so then you fall down. After those 5 seconds, we can get you hooked up and hopefully be on our way. So while Shane's flopping around on the ground, enjoying his ride, I'm giving verbal commands. Shane, when the taser's done, put your hands behind your back or I will tase you again. What do you think Shane did as soon as those 5 seconds were over? Hands right behind his back. Absolutely, no doubt about it. So while his hands are behind the back, Sheriff's deputy, he's putting handcuffs on him, pulling the needles out, putting the pink Hello Kitty Band-Aids on Shane's back. You got to do that to the tough guys. And Shane looks up at me and finally realizing his follies, says, "Dude, that hurt!" Thank you. Yeah, I bet it did. All right, so as these ladies get ready, we'll try to set this back up for them. Well, maybe while they're preparing, I'll take this moment to share with you a talent that I have been working on, albeit very briefly. We've been reading through the book of Judges, and did you know how many judges there are? Other than the boys who watched the video with me yesterday. There are 12. Yeah, there are 12 judges, and I didn't realize that until Buck Denver, the puppet, told me that yesterday. So there are 12 judges, which I think is an interesting number, given the number of tribes, apostles, etc. So do you know the names of the 12 judges, besides the boys who watched the video with me yesterday? Yeah, what do you got? Deborah. There you go, the only female among the group. Anybody else? Gideon, Samson. Anybody else? I mean, we didn't read through the whole book, right? So you may not remember them. What? Ehud, right? Left-handed judge, right? All right. So, well, I'm going to tell you, I memorized them. And, you know, if you memorize something, it's really helpful if you can make a song out of it. So I'm gonna tell you the 12 judges. So there's Othniel and Ehud, Shamgar, Deborah, Gideon and Tola, Jair and Jephthah. Who could forget about old Ibzan, Elon and Abdon, and the most famous one of all, that long-haired dude named. There you go. There you go. 12 judges. Just you guys ready? They're ready for me to be out of here. Okay. What do we got? Oh, wait, I should tell you. I mean, the song is in your program, and this comes from a movie that's out right now, The Greatest Showman, right? Have you seen that show, The Greatest Showman? Okay, rave reviews. But it's a musical, and they're going to do a number from that song. But what I find fascinating, other than the fact that they put lots of hours in preparation into this thing, but this right here is called the score, right? Now, the Hoekstras are a family all into sports and that kind of stuff, and it doesn't surprise me that Allison wrote the score. But when I realized what that means is she wrote all the notes down. She listened to the song. She wrote down, yeah, I mean, you could pop right over it about that. Yes, she wrote down all the notes, not only for her part, but for Esther's part as well. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed, Allison. I think that's fantastic. So anyways, we got a cello and a viola, and they're going to do this song for us. All right. There you have A Million Dreams. Next, we have another comic going to share his talents with us. Brandon recently had opportunity to do this gig at Laugh Fest. And I don't know if you, have any of you been down to Laugh Fest to enjoy the show? One? Couple? Okay. But apparently, I mean, at your venue, anybody could just come in and enjoy the show for free, right? Okay. So Brandon's going to share with us what he had opportunity to share. Why don't you give us a little, how'd you get involved in this?
A lot of people just thought I was funny, and so they said, hey, you should perform it on stage. And I'm like, okay. So that's pretty much how it got started.
Just called Laugh Fest?
Yeah, as far as Laugh Fest goes, I just I paid money, and they said, sure, you paid money, you can talk. So that's pretty much what I did. So, yeah, so there was this one time, just going to, just set the stage here. So there was this one time I was driving, and my car hit two birds, and so I decided to call my car the Stone. Get it? Two birds, one stone. Okay, all right, so a lot of people struggle with saying my last name, especially people who don't know me, like telemarketers. So I like to have fun with them, brighten up their day a little bit. So this one person called and they said, hi, is Mr. Albierda there? Are we talking in slow motion today? No. Is Mr. Albierda there? No, Mr. Albierda had an aneurysm and died. And so the next one, the person was like, hi, is Mr. Alberta there? Actually, it's pronounced Alberta. Oh, like in Canada. Yes, like, oh, Canada, my home and native land. They then hung up on me, which was fine because I don't know the rest of the words. So, and speaking of things that are hard to pronounce, the Winter Olympics just happened, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, that happened in Pyeongchang. Yeah, pronunciation problems. So I love watching the Olympics, and I really like watching bobsled and curling. But then I got to thinking as I'm watching them, why are they called that? I don't get it. Because if I was to meet you on the street and be like, hey, did you watch the bobsled last night? You'd be like, Brandon, what the heck is that? But if I said, hey, did you watch the winter roller coaster last night? Everybody would be like, hey, yeah, it was great. Yeah, same with curling. Hey, did you watch curling? Brandon, what the heck is that? Hey, did you watch the sweeping rock darts? Yeah, and it was great. So I decided to also bring some extra stuff. So whenever my daughter Lucy goes to sleep, I get bored. So I either read dad jokes or write dad jokes. So I've got some dad jokes. So let's have some fun. So dad and his kids, right? They were driving down the road and they passed the cemetery. And the dad says to his kids, hey, kids, do you know that this is a really popular cemetery? And the kids are like, whoa, really? And they're like, yeah, man, people are just dying to get in there. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom? Because the P is silent. I just had to let that one sit there for a minute. So, all right, and so, every now and again, too, I think of, questions in my head while Lucy's sleeping. So some questions that I've come up with is like, should Dave Ramsey's website take credit cards? Why are there no mirrors at self-checkouts? Yeah. When it comes to sharks, what's so great about the white ones? All right. Is Old MacDonald bankrupt because the whole song is in past tense? He had a farm, guys. Doesn't anymore. And why is abbreviation such a long word? These are the things I think about, guys. I tell you what. All right, that is it for me. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we'll set things up for James here. No time to look the other way. James, is this a song you wrote? It is. All right.
All right. Well, I'm kind of messing around with the electronics and the stuff here. I wrote this song when I was walking downtown and saw several homeless people reaching their hands out, and just watching people walk on by. And of course, I was one of them. And I got to thinking, gosh, what should I do? Are they going to use it for the right reason? Or are they going to use it for something else? But that's not for me to decide anyway. So after I had written this song, I got to think about all the stuff that's going on in schools all across the country, the violence that's happening. And it really is appropriate to that song as well, because when you see these people, they're usually somebody that's off in a corner, and people are bullying them, or something might be happening in that person's life that nobody else can understand or relate to. And so that's when I wrote this song about that experience. And then also in the bridge part, it's turning it around and saying, what if you were the person that needed that help? In a world that's troubled, we tend to look aside. In a world that's going the other way, take some time to listen. Look around and see the pride. It's up to us to change it day by day. You see a man in trouble, you want to look away. He's gone too far and you can't help him, you say. But feel a little compassion. Help the one who needs you now. Help your brother who's suffering today. It's time to take some action. There's no time to wait. There's no time to look the other way. We'll turn the tables and see now. What would you do if a man walked right on by you in your time of need? You put your hand out and cry for help, and he walks right on by. So will you curse or will you bless him? What kind of man will you be? Yeah, come on now. Time to take some action. There's no time to wait. There's no time to look the other way. So, are you feeling sorry for just walking on by that man now? wondering what the Lord is gonna say. Will you turn and help him walk that narrow path of life? And will you start helping him today? It's time to take some action. Take some action. No time to wait. No time to wait. No time to look the other way.
Thank you, James. Mike is going to give us our last number here, but before he comes up here, join me in saying thanks to everybody who performed. A lot of time and energy and practice went into preparing for this afternoon, and because you're here, they have a stage and an audience. So thank you for coming. To have a, I mean, it's beautiful, James. Thank you for putting that song together. It's a powerful song, and to have a place to share your art, to share what you do, to share your talents is part of what we provide for each other in the body as well. So, Mike, you're going to close the song for us here?
Yeah. A couple little
Oh, look, you even have, yeah.
Welcome to That's Why Talent Show Campfire. Every talent show needs a campfire, I think. What happens at campfires is people tell stories, sing songs, chat, and around. And there's often history lessons, right? Oh, back in my day, walked to school, up hills, both ways, a 6 years so, all that sort of thing. But what I want to do is give a little highly researched history of songs only sung around campfires. And of course, at a campfire, you sing. So please join me. In going back, say, 1970s. Kumbaya, Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, Lord, kumbaya. Kumbaya, Lord, kumbaya. Oh, Lord, kumbaya. All right, that's nice. Very nice. Very rich indeed. And then maybe say the 1980s come along, and there's another
Big thank you again to the performers. Thanks for you coming here. Thank you for all the people who made the food for us. Let's hear it again for the cooks. Have a wonderful afternoon. Enjoy.